How's it going? OutdoorVector here. I'm continuing our short series on our trip to the Smoky Mountains. Last week we took a scenic drive on the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. This week we're going to look at the hike that we took up to Grotto Falls. So the hike is actually on the Trillium Gap trail. It was actually pretty crowded when we arrived at the trailhead, so I had to park off to the side of the road. It wasn't in the official lot that we just passed by on the left. Just park off the side of the road, walking back to Grotto Falls trailhead. Got lots of people parking on the side of the road here. In some of the quick research that I did on the different trails that are available in the park, I had read that this trip up to Grotto Falls was one of the hikes to take. And what really interested me in this trail is the fact that it was good and convenient for families to take, especially families with young children, and also if you have an older generation with you. So the trail is actually about 2.7 miles round trip, I'd say. But that really depends on where you end up parking, because you got to walk to the trailhead itself, and so here you see in our log that it actually took closer to 3.5 miles. I believe the MPS actually rates this trail as a moderate difficulty, but I'd say this front section you could rate as easy. And I think mainly it's moderate because of the elevation gain that you do have, especially when going up to the Mount LeConte summit. Pretty well maintained trail. It's like steps. Overall, in this front section to Grotto Falls, you can tell that the footing is actually really even and flat, even though it's gaining elevation. If you do decide to continue on past Grotto Falls, the overall trail start from the trailhead is about 6.7 miles to the Mount LeConte summit.
I hear some water.
You hear some water?
Yeah, there's a creek down there. Wow, look at this. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Switch back to go up the mountain.
This is still the front side of the water. That's my natural hair.
But it's also like
Go ahead. The Trillium Gap Trail is one of the 5 trails that actually lead up to the peak of Mount LeConte. This front part of the trail that leads to Grotto Falls is one of the busiest trails in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. You'll see throughout this video that we pass and walk alongside many people along the trail, especially when you get to the Grotto Falls itself. You'll see it's quite congested. Another interesting thing about this trail is that this trail is the only horse trail on LeConte and is traveled actually 3 times a week to transport supplies up to the LeConte Lodge. But it's not horses nor donkeys that they use to transport the goods, but it's actually llamas. Yes, llamas are used 3 times a week to transport supplies and goods up to the LeConte Lodge. Unfortunately, on this day, we didn't see any llamas along the trail. We're just about to approach Grotto Falls now, and as we get closer, you can see the Roaring Fork River run alongside the trail. Pretty cool. Very cool. Pretty neat. As I was mentioning before, it was quite congested at the falls, but I think that can be expected since this trail is so easy and also very good for families. So we saw a lot of families with young kids at the falls itself. But along the trail, you will have moments where you don't see anyone in front of you or behind you as you make the journey. So cherish those moments. I do recommend taking this trail, even though it was congested at times. I'd say it's especially good for those with young kids, just because the trail itself is very easy to traverse. If you enjoyed watching this video or found something useful, please remember to hit that like button. Also, if you want to leave some comments below, it'd be great to hear about what are some of the other favorite areas of the park that you enjoy. And lastly, remember to subscribe to the channel to get notified about future uploads. Well, that's it. Until next time, have a great time outdoors.